It's funny. It's a funny thing, but Gary, you tell me.
What's up?
Drew has spun this yarn for 20 years of me just being a bad dude, okay? Or not a bad dude, but let's call me angry, impulsive, and I guess the word would be sort of like a guy's out there with an axe to grind. I'm basically a hammer just looking for a nail. I'm looking to smack somebody.
You got a score to settle.
I got a score to settle. And Dr. Drew in the end of my Loveline career, or toward the end of my Loveline career, we used to get 3-year deals. Okay. When I showed up at Loveline, it was the very first day I showed up to work at Loveline was the very first day we'd added one affiliate. So they were on at K-Rock in Los Angeles for a million years. And then I showed up and they added 91X in San Diego. Drew was making, I don't know, 80 grand, 90 grand, 100 grand a year. I don't know what it was. At the end, or getting to the end, and we get these 3-year deals, 3 years at a time. By the time I got to the end of my deal or our deal, and it was always favored nations, because you can't do, for instance, you can't do the Man Show and pay Jimmy Kimmel 3 times what I get paid, or pay me 3 times what Jimmy Kimmel gets paid. That doesn't work.
It's going to be the Angry Man Show.
Well, what you can have is, obviously, Howard Stern can get paid more than Baba Booey.
Right.
But when you do a sort of tag team, when it's really just the Man Show or Loveline, it's just called favored nations. Like, everyone just gets paid the same.
Yeah, keep it even.
Yeah. Unless somebody's a big established star, when Drew Carey and Theo Von finally team up for that game show, or Howie Mandel, guess who's going to get paid more than Theo Von?
Howie.
That's right.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's favored nations.
Yeah.
At the end of my tenure there, we're on, let's just say, 150 markets, and Drew's paycheck had gone up tenfold.
Wow.
And I don't know what he was making exactly when he showed up, but if he was making 100 grand, he was now making $1 million.
Yeah.
For a nighttime. This is a shift where people are routinely paid $30K a year to do this overnight shift. But I believe, much in part because of me and because of the success of the Man Show and things like that, we're able to get 150 markets and get paid.
Yeah. Well, I see why he said don't take your eyes off him.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's going to get you to the promised land, I think.
Now, at the end, when their contract came up, probably about 9 years in, they said, all right, we'll come back with a new contract. And here was their new contract. Their new contract was, Drew, you get paid the same. Adam, you go from $1 million a year to $275 or something of that. And it could have been $310.
Yeah.
That was the deal. And, of course, I said, why am I taking a huge haircut? And Drew's getting paid the same. And it should be favored nations, and or I'm the guy who basically built a lot of this.
Yeah.
Why is it that I'm being punished? And they said, well, that's the deal.
Damn, Jesus.
That's the deal. And I said, radio's so fucking stupid. By the way, how's Loveline worked out since I split? How's it gone?
What's Loveline?
Yeah.
It's gone. It's fucking gone. And it started to trail off the second I left, and then it just coasted to a fucking stop, because at the end, there was nothing left. It's not, people do this thing where it's like, after 30 years, it's time to hang it up. No, it's never time to hang it up when people are cutting checks and shows are wildly successful. Yeah. It's time to hang it up when something coasts to a stop. It's like, Joe Namath, it was time to hang it up for Joe Namath. Yeah, because he couldn't walk or throw a spiral. Yeah. So he retires. That's how most of all things work. Not the Man Show. That was Jimmy going to ABC and me going with him. But in this particular case, that's what happened. And I said, and all I said to Drew, who evidently fears me. I said, Drew, this is quite a predicament because you're going to get paid $1 million and I'm going to get paid $275, and I'm going to come in every night and do 80% of the talking. Here's what I need. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I am going to tell you, don't sign that contract until we have a lunch.
Yeah.
We got to have a conversation. We got to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
The only strength we have is you not signing your contract. Once you sign your contract, I'm just dangling out there. And I said, and we've gone a year without contracts. That's the way it works in radio.
Wow.
You just go. You just go and they work it and they go and they work it. And it's just like at some point a year later they fix it, figure it out.
Comes through.
So that's all I said to Dr. Drew, who's intimidated of me. And about a month and a half went by, and I was like, what's going on with these contracts or whatever? And I said to my radio agent, who I shit canned, I said, what's going on with Drew and his contract? And he said, I signed it.
No.
I said, when? I said, a while back.
Wow.
I said, I see him every night. Didn't say anything? No. Okay. Now, most people who are tough people or even fair-minded people would never talk to Drew again. That was my partner. I built that show with him. We should have band together and figure out a way to get paid the same. It's insane that someone would want to sit next to somebody and get paid three times as much, maybe 3.5 times as much. And most people would be ripshit at Drew and or their partner and or anybody.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel would not do that in 10,000 years. Like, you could take Jimmy Kimmel, tie him up to a chair, Flashdance style, and waterboard him for 1,000 years.
And he'd
never. They put the pen in his mouth
Yeah.
because his hands were tied up and he was and buckets of water dumped on his head. And they'd go, now sign the contract. And he'd spit the pen in their face.
Damn.
And they'd just keep dumping water and shoving that wet rag in his mouth.
Yeah, and putting coal dust in his eyes.
That's what Jimmy Kimmel would do.
Yeah.
All right. So
But Drew gave out.
I didn't even know that he held out. As soon as I gave him the contract, he just signed it, and he never even told me about it.
I can't believe you were sitting there for like a year thinking he hadn't signed it.
No, I was sitting there for about 2 months thinking he hadn't signed it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Man.
All right.
So French of him.
What would most people do? Well, I know. See, you're from New Orleans, so you Louisiana. You understand how the French work. All I'm saying is a lot of dudes, that would have been the last time they spoke.
Yeah.
But I said to Drew, I like you, but I don't like what you did.
Yeah.
And I will now forgive what you did.
Wow, forgiveness.
And get back to you. All right. Don't worry. When I was done at the end of that year, and they wanted me to take over for Howard Stern, CBS Radio, I said, that's fine, but you owe me a check for the difference for the year of what Drew made and what I made. And I remember James Baby Doll Dixon, who is now my agent because I shit canned Bob Eatman because Bob Eatman was our radio agent, but never.
Yeah, he wasn't doing a good job, obviously.
Was not a good job for me. Now, our last conversation was we all need to get together and talk before Drew signs his contract, but that didn't happen. I don't know what Bob was thinking, but then Bob missed out on a huge payday because I went on to take over for Stern. That money would have gone into Bob's pocket, but Bob got shit canned some months earlier for simply not picking up the phone and telling me that this was going to happen. I just realized that's bad. You're a bad agent if you can't put this thing together. Dixon, by the way, heard this and was like, it's favored nations. And the way Dixon is, because he's a great agent, Dixon was like, he would have told CBS Radio, I'm not even bringing this to my clients. I can't go to my clients and go, you get paid 1/3 what this guy gets paid. No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
We got to figure it out right here. But I'm not going back to them. They would never got the chance. But either way, once I took over for Stern, I said to my agent, Baby Doll Dixon, I said, they owe me like $637,000 or whatever the difference was.
And why do they call him Baby Doll?
I think we've agreed that he's a baby. He eats sugar and smokes and throws in litters, and he's basically a baby.
Oh, that's a tall baby.
And we also like calling him Baby Doll. So, and he kept saying, baby, you want a signing bonus? And I said, it's not a bonus. It's not a bonus. It's the money they owe me from the last year in the bad contract.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, I don't know if I can get you a bonus. And I kept saying, don't call the bonus.
It's not a bonus, baby.
All I want to do, and here's the deal. I don't want $650,000. I want $637.29. Like whatever that amount is, that's exactly the difference between what I did for the year and what Drew did for the year.
Yeah.
That's the amount I want.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Drew will call in a day. Would that be crazy? Has he done that?
Is he called in?
Yeah.
He's knee deep in some Amsterdam pussy right now, if I know Drew.